Well, unlike football, we haven't been here an entire week yet. So we are into our fourth day of practices, and my voice is indicating exactly how young we are because I'm doing a lot more loud coaching in the gym, but things are going very well. We're really pleased with our 10 first years that we have in this year and 15 returners. As you know, last year was an unprecedented season. 29-1, and we graduated at 6 starters. So that leaves the closet a little bit bare, but I'll tell you what, our practices have been really good. We have a little less depth in our lineup, but we still have really great personnel. And I'll go through those. I guess I just talked about those now, but and you guys probably know this, but we were picked second in the conference, which I'm good with after losing 6 seniors, and 12th in the nation, and that one also surprised me a little bit, so I appreciate the respect. We'll see if we can uphold that as we get going into the season. Natalie Clayberg is one of our senior captains from Pella, and she did mostly just serving. She'd come in and serve and go back out, but she's an outside hitter, and she's showing us right now that she's ready to be that senior that can fill that role in the outside hitter position that we lost with Zaya Quirk when she was with her graduation. Caroline Kliesner is another senior captain, and she is going to do her darndest to fill the shoes of Katie Foster in the libero slot. That's who we're looking at right now. It's not that it's given to her just yet, but she looks like she's earning that position. So Caroline Kliesner from Beckman Catholic. And then Allison Feigenbaum is actually our only true starter that we have coming back, and she did that as a freshman. So she's a sophomore this year and showing us that she's ready to go, and she's our middle hitter, and she'll be our M1 as we go into the season this year. So she was obviously following Kylie Bildstein as the M1, so now it's her role to take this year. A couple of local girls our athletes, I should say, from Grundy Center, which they'll both be on the court this year, is Emerson Croft. She has actually been injured the last 2 years. She's a right side hitter, but also a setter, and we're utilizing her in both positions. So we're running a 6-2 most likely. And then the other one is Abby Hammond, and they both played as teammates, obviously, just 1 year apart in high school. And Abby will be the other outside hitter that we're looking at. She's very explosive, fun to watch. People try to get out of her way sometimes when she's swinging, so that's kind of fun for us on that side. I don't know, I wouldn't want to be the defender, but that's their job, not mine. And then a couple other first years that I wanted to mention that are looking to possibly get some playing time. We're not just there yet, but Sophie Sedgwick from here in Waverly is most likely going to be the other setter in our 6-2. So she'd be setting across the back when Emerson is hitting across the front, and then she'd probably step out and bring another hitter in when Emerson's setting. So Sophie's looking to be in that role right now. And then Kaylee Anderson from Charles City is a lefty right side hitter, and we're kind of excited about the lefties. We got 2 this year. We haven't had them for years. And she is doing a really nice job, and she may or may not be that other right side. Again, we don't have that slot determined yet. So those are our athletes that we're really looking at probably making some impact for us this year. We start out our season over at UW Whitewater. It's a combo tournament, so we're at Whitewater and Beloit. So Friday we're at Whitewater. Whitewater's 16th, picked 16th in the nation. So I didn't know if our young team really wanted to start out with the 16 in the name, but hey, we're going to do it. We're going to use it as a measure and see where we need to improve, and maybe we'll do really well and surprise people. So you never know with the young team what they're going to bring to you. Our next tournament would be at Bethel, and Bethel is also rated in the nation 20. So we're looking at putting these good tournaments together. I actually had that backwards. They were 2 weekends. I skipped over Wisconsin Lutheran. They're in there. And then we have Gustavus at our home tournament at the end of September. That's also ranked. And then we will meet up with Northwestern on our home court later in October, who's also ranked. So we're trying to keep that tough schedule that we like to have, challenging schedule that's going to keep us at the level where we want to be. But also the art and the science of scheduling is a big deal when you've got a younger team. So what can I answer for you?
Is it a dramatic change for you and Doug? I mean, because you've come from this super seniors that you've had, so all of a sudden they're 18 and they just got done with school 3 months ago, being a high schooler. I mean, is that a dramatic change for you?
No, I mean, we've gone through this before, and again, like I just mentioned, we just don't have as much depth. But the great thing is our upperclassmen are really good leaders, and they're helping bring these other first years along. Some are ready to go at the upper level, the varsity level. I'll just say Sophie as an example. I mean, she's a 3A athlete. They've been to state. She loves to compete. She's a confident individual. So I think she's absolutely mentally ready to go. Some of the others are still building toward that. So I think that that's just part of their development, but that's our job to get them there. Yeah. Yeah.
What are some of the lessons that you're trying to instill right now in your senior captains?
In the senior captains. Okay, well, obviously we were lucky because we get to have spring season. So we've developed a lot of that during the spring season as well. But just a lot of it is being there, helping make right decisions. And as you come in as first years as college, students, making right decisions in that regard as well. But just encouraging is a lot of what they do. And then obviously they're part of the teaching process. We use them as examples to how we want things to be done and how they conduct themselves and just the skills themselves. So that's kind of their role.
With the class you graduated last year, obviously a lot of open spots for you. Is there a way to turn that into a positive and create a lot of healthy competition before you get going next weekend?
Yeah, and that's exactly what Doug and I talk about in practices, because last year you kind of know this is our lineup. Everybody kind of knew it, so they had their roles. This year it's good, and those that think that, hey, I'm that next person also know there's someone else battling, like you said. And so because of that, there is I've got to up my game every day. I've got to continue to develop. So yes, that's a good, healthy way to go about it.
You've always done a good job of this, but just look through these addresses here. You could, I've joked with Doug in the past, you guys could recruit with a bicycle, and you guys have done a great job with that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and part of that too is I think Wartburg itself is a great college, and local kids aren't afraid to say, I want to stay in Waverly, or I want to just go to Waverly, I'm 20 minutes away or whatever, but that's okay with me because it's a great place to be. Some other schools, maybe they're like, I want to get out of Dodge, I don't want to be around where I've been forever. And so I think the school itself is part of that. But we just have really good local kids too that play on really good programs that are coming in with excellent skills.
What do you look into more when you're recruiting the freshmen? The club stuff, or is it at the high school level?
Both. I mean, we will go out and watch the club athletes as well. But for us, it's also nice because the more that we can get out and see them in their high school season, we're making those connections with them at that time and not waiting necessarily till club. Mm-hmm. And those are oftentimes longer trips where we can go out multiple times during the season and make those connections with those athletes that we hopefully will get. So it develops the relationship sooner. Yeah.
Looking at your current team, what's the biggest thing you've learned about them in this preseason?
They're really good people. I was excited about this team coming in. People kept saying, oh, what are you guys going to do? I'm like, I'm so excited. And their personalities, the way they work, we don't have nitpicky anything. They're just there for each other. I love this. They're goofy. They last night, so we usually have them rock, paper, scissors to see who gets to serve. And last night, Doug Cross-Frizzell said, hey, why don't we just arm wrestle for it? They did. They laid down on the floor, and they've never done that in my 25 years here. They arm wrestled for it, which was actually funny. And the upperclassmen were smarter because they went with their left arms because that's not their hitting arm. They thought, I don't want to throw out my shoulder. So that was fun to see. That's their personality, and they're just a really fun group.
Thank you.